Hi, I'm Chris Tresice with Brainstorm International, and today I've got April Ballestero, a leadership coach and mentor for One Light Academy. You're listening to the Connection Heroes podcast, a part of the Knox B2B micro community that supports business development in and around the Knoxville area. April, thank you so much for taking some time out today to share some insights about leadership and growth. It's something we all need. And can you take a couple of minutes and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, Chris, it's an honor to be with you as always. Very thankful to be part of the micro community of Knox B2B and to support your development of businesses around the community. So, as a leadership mentor, coach, guide, all the pieces of the puzzle, I am beyond thankful to get to serve nationwide and internationally now because leadership is a need and there is a immense amount of opportunity for people to discover how to lead. And I've been leading since I was in high school, and I still have some good genes. Yet I've got a grandson now, so it's been a while. And so the exciting thing is, over the journey, I've served everything from the real estate industry, insurance industry, chiropractors, restaurants. I get to coach, mentor, teach, guide, facilitate a multitude of industries to help them discover how to improve their relationships, how to own their responsibilities, and how to be purposeful in celebrating the rewards and improving the results and creating duplicatable results.
That is great. Before we started recording, you were telling me about, I know that you've got all this expertise and it allows you kind of the flexibility to put it into perspective for, I guess, whoever your client is. We were talking about a restaurant group out in California that you kind of had a unique way of visualizing and getting everybody kind of engaged, almost kind of like in a game fashion. So, can you elaborate more on that?
I have been using games and illustrations my whole career for all the different industries, everything from baseball to roadmaps to all kinds of different illustrations. And as my editor and publisher would tell you, I'm really good at figuring out which company and which person in that company needs which illustration to get their head, heart, and mind wrapped around an idea. So, a CEO from a restaurant company actually met me through another company and got to watch me coach another company and finally opened up the door to allow me to work with her as a brand new CEO of a multi uh, location restaurant. They are celebrating 25 years now, and they have been a huge icon in the community. And through the process, not only did I get to be a resource for her, she opened up the door for the senior leadership team. So I've been attending their leadership meeting every year now. And at one of the specific strategic leadership meetings, we got to help them discover in every restaurant, there are recipes, there are responsibilities, there are results that they are ideally paying attention to on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. And this particular company is amazing at that process. And yet they have a very unique recipe. And so, through the process of strategic planning, we were working through a lot of different projects and processes, and we've been improving it. I mean, their numbers are improving every year, and they are celebrating some amazing successes. And they actually made, for one of the large local organizations, excuse me, nation organizations, they were named the top 35 in companies to watch. So they have some huge presence and commitment and determination to grow. And they gave me permission to plant seeds and help them discover a illustration. So after dinner one night, we decided to bring all the senior leadership team out to the pool area, and we helped them understand that they have a recipe for their leadership. And we literally helped them develop a puzzle of people, and we helped them create a pizza from all their different personalities and behavior styles and help them see that they're each a slice to the pizza. They make pizzas and they are part of the slices to the pizza. Yet one of their specific parts of their recipe is they have cheddar cheese in the middle of their pizza to make it a unique style of their recipe. And one of the things we help them discover is that is the heart of everything they do. That is that they are invested in their community, they're invested in their team, they live out their culture. Their culture is all about good as gold, and they own it at a high level. And so helping them connect to the center of the heart of the pizza and understand their recipe and understand their connection to each other, even though they're amazing. And I get to tell them all the time, they're amazing leaders. And yet they have every leader has opportunity for refinement. And so the gift that we got to give them, and even to this day, I heard just in a conversation yesterday, they were setting something up and one of the leaders immediately said, "Oh, wait, we've got to make sure we've got the pizza figured, the whole recipe represented at a high level." And to take that, they have multiplied their business 10 times over those 25 years, 10 times. And the fact that we were able to get it to everyone owning that recipe and owning that connection was exciting to hear yesterday.
That is incredible. It seems like it took kind of that third party perspective to take something so that they're used to dealing with on an everyday basis and kind of turn it into a strategy that they can all relate to, have fun with, build on, and basically run with.
It's a part of the conversation on a regular basis now because people more often than not are visual learners. There's a lot of people that are audio learners. Some are very have a combination of all of it, and they need to be able to touch, feel it, and experience it. And so, one of the gifts that giving visual illustrations helps them to connect to it and help them give analogies, if you will, to how they can help people live it out. And we are big at helping them discover how they invest in their relationships first, because when they're investing in relationships, the responsibilities become so much more meaningful, which cause results. And that really is the recipe that I get to help people discover.
Yeah. So this was kind of more of the top down kind of leadership going on where the CEO knew that they needed, I guess, the training or the togetherness,
The alignment. It
the
really is
alignment,
the
the alignment.
alignment. Yes. Uh-huh. It is absolutely for the alignment that is an absolute requirement. And a lot of companies many companies don't know, it has been documented, is less than 20% of engagement from employees in their companies. It's been documented
Yeah,
across the nation, less than 20%. Most companies think they have way more. And
yeah,
when they get in and research and verify, it's less than 20% engagement. So what every company needs to be investing in, how are the company getting bought in? Because we are not in a command and control community anymore. We are all about learning how to inspire implementation. That is how I define leadership. And we can influence people, and yet if they do nothing with it, we didn't achieve anything. And so one of the things that I work to teach people regularly is our opportunities to be inspiring implementation, because when they're implementing, that means they're bought in. That means that they have a reason to commit to actually making the choice, taking the action, and creating the value.
that is awesome. So you find it, do you find it easier when there's like all these different departments to work with someone like yourself? Because coming from the CEO, it might land on deaf ears and they might not even know how to translate it to the various departments. Do you find it's easier for them to open up to you and tell their problems or tell their obstacles that are going on?
It's a big asset. I remember having a one-on-one conversation through a Rotary group with a head of a school district, one of the largest school districts in the country, and he said any company can tell whether or not they are actually making any influence by how well people implement. If they are passively ignoring you, they're proving they are not hearing you or connected with you. And it is every day I get to watch people share with me things they would not share with their company. And my job is to be the bridge to help them discover how to communicate it, how other people will hear it, and how they make a difference in it. Because most CEOs want to know that you're bringing a solution instead of a problem.
Sure.
And more often than not, people do not realize how important it is to see value and hear people first, because until they feel valued, they're not going to give a hoot about the solution or the problem until they feel valued.
That is so true.
Mhm.
So if someone, a CEO or a business owner or someone wanted to kind of start this plan, you can't have a bridge overnight. What would they use in order to, or how would they engage with you in order to kind of start this process?
So I've created a unique document and I call it the discovery process document. And it walks through 20 different items of how they're building, scaling, truly getting their message out. And it just asks them where they are in the mastery process and what they might need help with. It's an easy downloadable form. They fill it out and then they schedule a strategy session. It's a complimentary option at this point, and it is something to get the conversation started to determine where they're at, which is the best path, and how to deliver it in phases to roll out leadership development, roll out what areas of help they need, and what resources we have to provide that.
Oh, that's great. In fact, we're going to put that in a couple of different places on our site and through our network in order to make that even easier for people to find and download and fill out. Once they fill out something like that, what would kind of be the next step that they could expect to happen?
So there is an easy way to schedule a strategy session with me. It's a calendar link. They get to pick any time that they want on the calendar. They can pick a Zoom, a call, whichever they prefer. There is a whole very simple process to it, and they just schedule an appointment, and we have a one-on-one meeting, one-to-one meeting, whichever you prefer, with the influencers. And if there's more than one person, that's totally okay too. We've met with multiple people to help discover what they need and how they get buy-in and alignment to start the rollout process. And more often than not, a lot of people think they need to do all of it at once. We have a company that's 550 employees, and they did the first rollout with 12 people, had a huge success. And then they invited us to come speak to the company to prepare them for the next group of cohorts and the
Okay.
next group. And we'll probably be in that company for 3 years.
Whatever it takes.
Absolutely. And we want to be part of the long term process.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Mhm.
So that invitation to the strategic session, that would be on your website. Is it like
It
on the
is. It's right
homepage?
on the top page. It says book a time. Yeah.
We'll put that. We'll make sure that we put that link in our show notes and make sure that we promote that too.
Thank you.
Um, April, it's been again fabulous having you on this podcast. And I know we have lots of other. We were actually talking on this podcast of all these other episodes that we can definitely start putting down as well. But it's great working with you. I really appreciated all the kind of focused attention that you've given Knox B2B,
Thank you.
even though you kind of have to split your time. But a business is a business, and we all need leadership and growth.
Well, and you are a great leader of building an amazing opportunity. Micro communities are a really big deal, and a lot of people don't realize the value yet. And we're working to help make sure that everyone has awareness of the value. It's going to be a huge
Oh,
opportunity.
it's a definite educational process
It is.
for me as well. So,
You are a gift. Thank you, Chris, for the opportunity. Always
oh,
glad to be with you.
pleasure. We will talk to you later, and really appreciate again you being on this episode.
Thank you.